Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Scandal Season 7, Episode 1, and the name of this episode is Watch Me. Yo, this is the final season, and Scandal did not disappoint last night. It came back with a bang, and this was a good episode. But before I get started, let me send my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by the tragedy in Las Vegas, as well as Hurricanes Irma, Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Jose, and Hurricane Maria. If you can give love and condolences and anything you can to actually help everyone that was affected by these tragedies, please do so, because they really need our help. Now, the episode opens up, pretty much where it left off. Luna Vargas is dead. Remember, she was the one that was behind, what's her name, Samantha, and all these, operatives that was in there trying to take over Millie's administration. And the ultimate game was to kill Millie so that Luna Vargas would become president. And she was behind the whole thing because she wanted that oval. She wanted that power. Well, we saw that Jake and Olivia made her take this pill to give herself a heart attack, but then her good image will stay intact. So we see that Luna Vargas is dead. Millie is now president, and Cyrus has been named her vice president, because we saw at the end of season 6, Olivia said that she was going to nominate Cyrus, but then Cyrus also let it be known that he was kind of like the mastermind behind Luna's thirst for power. So we saw that as interesting. So we see the episode opens up, Millie's president, Cyrus is vice president, and Miss Olivia Pope is the boss of all bitches. Let me tell you, Miss Olivia was serving nothing but power cheese this whole damn episode, because not only is she the White House chief of staff, but she's also the head of command. So she's now holding the actual power position that her father had. And she just did nothing but make power moves this whole episode. And she's not going to be told what to do by anybody or anyone. So we see that the episode opens up. They're talking about pushing the Vargas bill, because this was a bill that Vargas wanted, to kind of like create free education, for America. Because you go around the other countries, education is free. You can go to college for free. But here in America, you have to damn near pay an arm and a leg for a higher education. And, they're pretty much going on this rampage to get this bill going. And we actually see that this senator named Senator Michaels, he's dead set against voting for the bill. So he pretty much meets with, Olivia, her mission is that she needs to get at least 50 senators to sign off on it in order for it to become a bill. She's got to, pretty much lobby the bill to the Senate and the Congress for them to even make it a bill, because it's definitely, if anything, it's a bill, but they're trying to make it into a law. So they're doing the groundwork to make that happen. But you got this one senator, Senator Michaels, who is dead set. He is not voting for free education, and he's dead set against it. So Olivia brings him to her office, and she's like, so you're not going to vote for free education? He's like, no, I'm dead set on it. I'm not voting for this bill. Nothing you do or say is going to make me change my mind. I am not going to vote. I'm going to vote no on this bill. And Olivia's like, actually, you're going to vote yes. And he's like, no, I'm not. She's like, oh, yes, you are. You're going to vote yes, because voting yes will prevent all of this from coming out into the open. So she got like a whole dossier on him about him having extramarital affairs and all kind of crazy shit. So she pulled his card, and she says that, look, you can continue to say no, and all of this becomes public knowledge, and I'm pretty sure your wife will be the most of all that will be shocked, about all the crazy stuff you're doing. She says, shoot, I wouldn't do half the bad shit that you were doing on my bad day. So she let that be known, like, I got your number, so you're going to say yes. And we see that he does say yes. So then we also get a scene with, you know, the new Perkins and Associates, because now Quinn is now the head of OPA, but it's no longer OPA. It's now POA. And they're sitting talking with David Rosen, and they're pretty much frustrated because they haven't been getting any clients. And David Rosen was like, look, nobody knows who the hell Perkins and Associates is. You know, OPA, Olivia Pope Associates, they had a reputation. There was a name there. They had a name that people can go to. That's the reason why she had a client. So he kind of let her know that, look, you're going to have to start from ground zero. You're going to have to build your rapport in order to get clients, because a lot of Olivia's clients, you know, are probably not going to deal with you because Olivia is no longer at the helm. But we actually see that there's a woman that shows up, and she's there to find her father. You know, her father is this professor, and he's been taking a lot of trips to Bislam, doing like, you know, educational conferences and things like that. And she said that she knows something is wrong because he hasn't called her. And of course, Quinn at first they all were like, well, you know, maybe, you know, he went to sleep. She's like, no. You don't understand. He's in Bislam, you know, and he's an American. And, you know, when he's over there, he knows the conditions, how the conditions are there. So he always calls me to let me know he's okay. He hasn't called me, so something is wrong. So now Perkins and Associates got a case. And the name of the guy is Joshua Stewart. He's a professor. He's been taking a lot of trips to Bislam, and somehow he's been captured. And, you know, we see that, you know, Quinn actually goes to Huck to ask him, can you know, check some surveillance to see if we can find out his last whereabouts. And then all of a sudden we see Huck is like, oh, really? You're just going to use me? I'm like, see, Huck is in his feelings. Because I definitely have a hypothesis. Huck and Quinn gonna end up being together, but we actually know that Quinn right now is pregnant, and she's pregnant with Charlie's baby, and we can definitely see that has affected Huck in a certain way. But Huck does the surveillance. He finds out, you know, that this guy Joshua Stewart has sat in the same place at the university every single day except for the other day. And then the next thing you know, they see that there's this guy, you know, who's armed forces or whatever, and they attribute it to the fact that that one, you know, he's actually affiliated with the CIA because they're over there looking for him as well. So they pretty much attribute it to the fact that, yeah, he's definitely an ally of some sort. So they immediately find that out. And then we also get a scene with Olivia. She's on television with this guy. I think his name is Raven or Robin or something like that. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But he's pretty much like this very pseudo-conservative guy. He's dead set against free education. He's saying that, and he's definitely Mexican or Latino. So he's like, you know, my family came to this country as immigrants, and we worked our asses off, and I worked my ass off to get to where I am. So if I can make it, why should someone be able to get the education and everything that I had access to? Why should someone get that for free and all of that? And he was just really kind of sticking it to Olivia, but we can definitely tell he's turned on by her too because she's powerful. So next thing you know, Olivia was about to read him for filth as to why free education is necessary and why it's probably the best bill ever. So she was about to give it to him, but then he cut the interview short. So, you know, 30 seconds, because they still had 30 seconds time, but then as soon as she was about to read him for filth, that's when he cut the show, and then she's like, oh, that's typical. you in, like, because we still had 30 seconds left, but it's typical you were in the show before I read you for filth on your own platform. Yeah, I knew you couldn't take that. So she kind of walks up, but we can look at him. We can definitely tell he's got the hots for Olivia. Oh, yeah. And then we also get a scene where Quinn actually goes to Olivia to ask questions, to talk about, the whole case with Joshua Stevens and about getting him back on American soil, safe and unharmed, because obviously he's been captured by pretty much the militia over in Baslam. And, Olivia is very short with her. You can definitely tell Olivia's been having a good time. So, and Quinn is pregnant, so Quinn got to go to the bathroom. She pretty much shuts the door in Quinn's face and everything. She's like, I just came here to give you some information. You won't even let me use the bathroom. How can oh, meanie. And it was kind of funny. But then we find out the reason why she didn't let Quinn up in there. She up in there rolling around in the hay with Jake's ass. Because now, because we definitely saw from the last season, Fitz has now left and went to New Hampshire, and they even showed a clip. They even showed a clip that they reached out to Fitz about this whole kidnapping of this professor, and Fitz had no comment. He is like completely cut off from anything dealing with the White House. It's like he's just gone. But I have a good feeling that Fitz may be back into the situation. But now that Fitz is not there, she's using Jake as a sex toy because Jake is like, you want to have some more fun. She's like, no, put on your clothes and get back to work. So she's loving the power that he's like her personal ding-ding. When I want to ride you and I want you up inside of me, you will report to this bed. But when I need you to do what I need you to do, I need you to be on that as well. So she pretty much has Jake at her disposal. So after a while, she was like, because when Jake was about to put on his clothes and she saw that Jake was getting in his feelings, so she's like, oh, so you like this black puss. Okay. Nah, we can play some more. So take everything off and get back in here. And they go back to getting it in. I'm like, see, Olivia is like, she go back and forth. Like, at one point she was with Fitz, and next point she was with Jake. Those was her two white pings that she just bounced back from. Ping, 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 ping. Just saying. So we see that going on. But then we also see in this episode too that Cyrus, being the vice president, he's kind of not really filling the position, because we know that Cyrus used to be chief of staff under Fitz, and we know the type of beast Cyrus is. So Cyrus is having some difficulties, being content with his position. But then we learn a little bit later on, because she pretty much delegates Cyrus to help get these senators on board with free education. He goes meets with this Democratic senator, forgot her name at the moment. I think it was like Wrangler or something like that. But she is like, free education was the idea of the Democratic Party, and now the Republican Party is trying to take this initiative. And she starts to play on Cyrus's ego. Now, Cyrus got a real big ego. Because, at one moment, he can be Cyrus Dean, and then next he turns into Maleficent the Queen. And when Maleficent the Queen comes in, oh, she is going to do ultimate damage. So she starts kind of playing off on Cyrus. You were right there with Vargas. You work hand in hand with him. If anything, why don't we just put this whole free education thing on hold and wait for a Democrat to come to power, possibly you, and then we can do the free education bill. And she's like, and he's kind of like, excuse me? He's like, look, I'm not going to let this be another win for Olivia and her associates. They're not going to have the win. They're not going to take free education. But what we can do is that we can wait until we get power in the White House again, and you will possibly be president, because we already know vice presidency is only limited to what you can really do. We know you can do even greater than being vice president. So we can wait till you become president, and then we can put the power behind you. We can make this win ours. So we definitely see that tap dancing in his head. Then we see that Olivia asks him to go meet with some rangerettes. You know, because Millie was tied up and she couldn't do it, and the reason why is because she's supposed to be meeting with the ambassador of the Swan to try to you know, get the professor back safe and sound, because obviously he's been taken by their militia and they're probably putting him through a lot. And then we also come to find out that he actually is an operative of the CIA, so therefore he pretty much, you know, is an American patriot. He pretty much fights and stands for the country. And him being, you know, captured by another country, they're definitely fear that, like, look, secrets and some, top information, he could be slipping to them in order to spare his life. So the option is either we got to get him out of here safe and sound, or we're going to have to kill him, to protect, the Republic. So, we see that she sends Cyrus to go meet the Rangerettes, and he first is like, "Oh, really? You're gonna have me do?" She's like, "Oh, what? You think this is too important for you?" I mean, because at the end of the day, this is the first female president, and now these young girls need someone to look up to. And what better if she's not able to do it than a man who actually supports her and is behind her 100% for her to be the best woman she can be. But if you think that this is too much for you, we can find something else for you. And he's like, "I'll do it." So we see he's about to go meet up with the Rangerettes, but then we see that Millie finally comes, because we see in the meeting with her and the ambassador was chauvinistic as hell, because she was serving him tea, they were talking, and she was, was going to ask about, the American professor, Mr. Stewart, and that, how do we, work out something where we can get him back safe and sound. And he was like, "Look, I'm going to be upfront with you. This is cute, and I'll play it cute with you, but you seem like you got a lot on your plate, and you seem to me that you definitely have a lot that you're working with right now, so we're not even going to deal with that, but we'll play nice and we'll have tea." Just pretty much dismiss her like, "Look, you a woman playing in a man's game, and you ain't about this life, so I'm not going to budge, so we'll just have tea and we'll play it cute." So that ended real quick. So she was able to meet the Rangerettes, but before she does, she talks to Cyrus, and she lets Cyrus know, like, "Man, who would have ever thought that we would be on the same team?" And she tells Cyrus how grateful she is for him, that he was there for her when, Luna died, and, he stepped up and he's been very supportive, and that who would ever thought that we would be working together and we would be winning together. So I think that kind of touched Cyrus. And then the next thing you know, we see that she goes meet with the Rangerettes, and she's like, "So, all right, little girls, who's ready to be president?" And they're all like, "Me!" And I was like, and then you saw Cyrus like fuming. I'm like, "Oh shit, what the hell is this bitch gonna do now?" So we see also with Olivia and Jake, there is this power struggle going on, because Jake is saying we need to implement B613. We need to just go in and kill this guy because he is now a threat to the Republic. He works with the CIA, so he knows top secrets, and we know how the Bishwam, militia is. They are not, they are not under the Geneva Conventions, so they use crazy torture tactics to get people to bend, and I'm pretty sure they are torturing the fuck out of him to get him to bend on American security. So we got to get rid of him. And still Jake is still head of the NSA. And Olivia's like, "No, he's an American patriot. We don't kill our own. We're gonna get him back, and our mission is to get him back safe and sound." Hence was her reason why Mill was meeting with the ambassador. That didn't go well. So she's still adamant with Jake that what you need to do is continue to keep your ears to the ground and find a way and find a loophole where we can go in there and get him back safe and sound. That's not what Jake does. Jake wants to bring in, B613 and let's go annihilate him. And then we also see that Huck, still being a part of B613, is now reporting to Olivia, and he's updating her, and he's pretty much asking, like, look, whatever you want me to do, I will do it. I'm at your disposal. Let me know what the move is. But what Jake ends up doing, because he wants to go in and kill the guy, and she is still saying, no, we're going to bring him back safe and sound, he goes over her head and takes it to Millie. Millie pretty much is gung-ho with, yeah, we need to kill him. We have to protect the American Republic. And like, Olivia's like, what the hell? We can't. And she's like, Millie's like, excuse me, I'm the president, so this is gonna happen, Olivia, whether you want it to or not. And we see Olivia fuming the fuck up, and she looking at fucking Jake, and she looking at Millie. She's like, oh, I'm gonna teach you two bitches. You bitches feeling yourselves, and I'm about to get y'all both completely together. So, and then we even seen early on in the episode, she had a meeting with her father, and how the tables have turned, because the position that her father used to have against her, she now has against her dad. She got her dad under surveillance. She's like, yes, and what you're going to do is you're going to play nice here, and you're going to have dinner and wine with your daughter. So it's like, he's kind of like mad, because it's like, now she holds the reins of power, and she is like on cloud 9, and you can't tell her shit. But her father lets her know that, look, as much as you feeling yourself right now, there's going to become a moment where there's going to be smoke and mirrors, and anything you say or do could actually affect the position you're in right now. So the reason why I'm telling you this is that you need to be smart to know that you can't have it all. And her response to her father was, watch me. So now that, Millie has now taken the bait by Jake to actually kill, Mr. Stewart, Olivia takes it upon herself that, no, I'm going to flip this shit. So what she ends up doing is that she finds the ambassador of Islam, but she also does intel on him, and she also brings in Huck. So she goes to meet up with him at the embassy, and she lets him know, like, you need to let this American go. And he's saying that, look, I have no parts of it, so I don't know. And it's like, you do. You know exactly what the fuck's going on, but you're not trying to let him go because it gives you some power over America, so you want to keep his ass there. And, so Olivia pulls that card, just like she did with that senator earlier. She pulls the card on him like, I know one thing that you find the most precious in the world, and just to let you know, that one thing can be annihilated. And she brings up his son. Your son right now is being bullied in school, so you're very compassionate and very protective of your son. But right now, I got a scope on your son, and within seconds, I can kill his ass if you do not let this American go. And she got Huck, and Huck doesn't want to kill the boy, but he's like, please tell me this is a joke. Like, please tell me that this is just a setup. It's just a setup, right? It's a setup? Because, we know Huck is trained to kill. Huck doesn't want to kill this kid, but Huck will, for the sake of the mission, because that's what Huck does. So she's like, so are you going to let the American go? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. She starts saying, like, shoot in 5, 4, 3, 2. He's like, okay. So what happens is that we see that Millie and Jake and the CIA are all in the war room ready to, break down this guy's cell and annihilate him. But Olivia was able to pull something, because next thing you know, she gets a call from the ambassador, and he lets her know that he's been set free, and now he's with the American embassy, and he's unharmed. So Olivia pulled a power move. Then we see that Cyrus has another meeting with the Democratic senator, and she's still pushing that envelope, trying to play on Cyrus's ego. And Cyrus begins to flip the script on her. He's like, yeah, but you're pretty much saying, out of just being on a power trip, you actually saying that Americans have to go another 4 or so more years before they can get, the benefits of what the Vargas Bill represents. Where a person who comes from a poor beginning but yet is very educated can actually get access to education, because your daughter, because of your money and because of your status, she can get the best education, but she's not the only smart person out here. There are smart people who don't have the benefits of having a senator as a mother, and yet they're going to be deprived of achieving their hopes and their dreams because they can't afford higher education. When yet it should be based on their intellect whether they get higher education, not based on their financial status. So he completely reads her and lets her know that, look, we are going to put this bill down. We need to do this now, because free education is now, because that's what Vargas would have wanted. Vargas wouldn't have cared whether it was a Republican or Democratic, initiative. It's about the people, and at the end of the day, it's about the people. And then she was actually impressed by that, but then we come to find out she was in on the whole damn thing, because Olivia was using her to test Cyrus to see if Cyrus was really loyal to Millie. The senator calls Olivia and she says, okay, Cyrus is game. He's definitely loyal to Millie, and he's not betraying her. So she's keeping eyes on Cyrus' ass too, because she know when Maleficent comes to play, Maleficent can do some bestial shit, because we've seen how Cyrus gets down. So we saw that go down. So now all that's been so pretty much they pretty much returned Mr. Stewart back to his daughter, so everything is good. But we definitely see that we see that Jake and Olivia meet up later, and she gets him completely together, because what she ends up telling him is that you overstepped me by going to Millie. See, I think what happens is that due to the fact, because of my weakness, I let you back in my bed, and it's something that I should not have done. You are comfortable. You got comfortable to think it was okay to betray me. You got comfortable thinking that I am not your boss. I mean, you got comfortable with the idea that I'm your boss, but then I'm also screwing my boss, so I should be able to make judgment calls, unbeknownst to her. So she's like, you know what? I'm ending this thing with you. You are no longer going to get no more of this black box. So it's over. And she's like, I got to reel you back in and kind of teach you who's really in charge here and who's really running things. Because obviously, it got lost in translation when we were rolling around in bed together. So that part is over. And then we see that little old boy, that the neoconservative. We see that his ass came by the White House flirting with Olivia, trying to get her to go to lunchtime. So I can give you your 30 seconds, but I can do it over dinner. He's like, I know you want to go. And she's like, and then also she kind of laughed because, she and I think at that time is when she actually, found out where the ambassador was, and she was going to go there and switch the situation around. And then he's like, oh, you laughing? I had that effect on one. She's like, actually, I wasn't even thinking about you. And he's like, yeah, you are. And then the secretary was like, I think she was telling you the truth. I don't think she's thinking about you, bruh. I thought that was cute. But then we see that later on they do meet up with each other. But before I get to that, after she gets Jake's ass together, we actually see that she has to sit down with Millie. And Millie asks her, to call this ambassador. She's like, why not? Like, why should I? You can call him your damn self, because I know that's what you did. And she's like, don't you ever overstep me and blah, blah, blah. And Olivia's like, excuse me? I did what needed to be done, and you need to be grateful to me that I did it. So you need to sit your ass down. And then Millie's like, I am the ruler of this office. This is my office. And then Olivia's like, oh, no, the hell it's not. This is the people's office. You lease it for 4 years, and you may get 4 more, depending on the elections. but this is the people's office. You are a servant to the people. That's what you are. You don't own any of this. And I was like, you better get her ass together, Olivia. But then Millie, I think the real reason why Millie was mad was because she could not turn the ambassador around, and that pretty much Olivia went above her head and made this shit happen. Because she was dead set on doing what Jake wanted, killing him, but Olivia was the one who really got the ambassador to change, and she did it by going after his weakness, which was his son. But Millie's mad because Olivia got it done and she didn't, so she's letting her know that, look, I am running this show. You are not supposed to make any moves without me. You work for me. I don't work for you, and you need to fall in line. So we see that that Olivia looks at this and she begins to read fucking Millie for dear life. And she lets her know that, first of all, you obviously forgot the rules, so let me get it to you. 1, you never ignore me. 2nd, I'm right, always. And 3, it's only you and me. You are in a man's game. You are the first female president. You need to rely on nobody but me, because all of these men want to see you fail. All of these men with their chauvinistic attitudes do not want to see you be patriotic and be the boss chick that I know you can be. Because the last thing you need to understand, that I am the boss. So she let Millie know, I'm the boss, bitch. I'm running this shit. I'm the one who's really making moves for you. Now, you either can play my game and I can make you a monument, or you can continue with the same bullshit and you can become literally abysmal. It's up to you. And then all of a sudden, Millie's like, I want to be your monument. I'm like, you better do that shit, Olivia. Play on her damn ego, and because she knows how to get Millie together. And that's exactly what she did. So Millie was like, I want to be a monument. But in that little quick moment, she let it be known, yeah, I'm the one running shit. So then we see that Olivia's going out on the town or whatever. She runs into the same, neoconservative, guy that has his own show, and he's fine as hell too. So pretty much they run into each other, because everybody's saluting, everybody's partying because, we pretty much got the American professor back on American soil unharmed. So all of a sudden he sees her and kind of sits next to her or whatever. And she makes the power play like crazy with him. Because then she's like, yeah. So, there's going to be a car that's going to be pulling up in a few seconds. And this car is going to take you to the Regency Hotel, wherever. And she says that also there will be a key. There's a guy named Mark who I know. He will take you up to the room, and the room will be open. And then there's also going to be an adjacent room, and you're going to go there, and and you're going to wait for me. And she says that I'm about to leave now. So now that I've let that be known, you can actually begin moving, and I'll give you 30 seconds. For you to come. I was like, you better go somewhere with that shit, Olivier. Boss bitch all day. Pretty much pimped old boy and said that, I know you want this puss. So, there's a car that's going to pull up for you. It's going to take you to the hotel. You go there and you wait for me. And I'll give you 30 seconds for you to come. Literally. I was like, man, this was good. I was like, yes, Shonda Rhimes did her thing with this episode. And I know this is the final season, so I know this season is gonna be lit. And I'm so here to see how everything is gonna play out from this point forward. So that's what I have, y'all. Subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, I've started a GoFundMe page. You can find that link in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Scandal. So until then, everybody, take care.